we go.
Okay.
I hope you're ready. I hit the stream button without saying anything, and I still don't have any Carrion Crown stuff. So, I'm the worst. But everyone's here. We did it. We made it. The time's come to get spoopy up in the Carrion Crown. Was a giveaway. Now is a patron game with friends and other smaller patrons and other things as well. And we're kind of just throwing dice and having fun because the group was good. So, I'm cool with it. In any case... Emmy, Robin, Anthony, thank you guys so much for your support on Patreon. Chewie, thank you for finally showing up. Jeez, having a job, working. How dare you? How dare you so much that you were first on the in-character reflection? Who are you? What are you playing? Tell us about... There's going to be a bit of a time back and forth because we had 2 players last time. We have 4 players today. So some of us are telling us about Session 2 for a hero point. Some of us are telling us about Session 1 for a hero point.
Well, I'm Edgar Xavier. I'm a Dampier. And my class is Vampire Hunter. And in my entire existence, of all 50 years I've been alive, I've never been in this situation before, hiding in a coffin like the denizens of the night my father is. Surprisingly, with a catfolk that I met just about the other day. It has been very strange since I got here in this town, and if this is what's going on in it, this will be a very interesting 1 month, I will say.
Fair enough. And take that hero point, my dude, as we talk to our friend who was drunkenly carousing outside the graveyard at night, as I guess our teenage friend. I remember being 15. I don't remember being a tiefling, though. Next up, it's Molden. Again, a quick reminder of who you are, what you're playing, and that in-character reflection from Session 1. For that hero point.
I am Molden, a Tiefling Inquisitor of the Feronia. Session 1, we arrived in town and went to a funeral. Found out that there might be something fishy about his death, I believe, and we are investigating that, and we are to stay in the town for a month to protect his daughter, and I unfortunately was unable to get past the guards in the cemetery, so I ended up I guess getting drunk outside, even though outside the graveyard while the others were doing the investigating.
No, I just say that because that was Robin's bluff check when you guys were sleeping. We're drunk. We're trying to figure out. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I had to bluff my way out of that.
Missing a session and missing an encounter is one thing. Missing a session and me forcing you to take a bunch of con damage or something is another. Anyway, take that hero points, and we'll take it down to the woman with a dex of 3. Every time I say that, there's warning sirens flash in my head. As someone who likes the dex marshals better than the strength marshals, it's just problem, low AC. Oh no!
I am.
And what are you doing? And who are you?
Tired. I'm feeling so sluggish. This isn't. I need a nap. Nap sounds good. Sounds good. Little cat nap.
But also, who are you and what are you playing?
Don't do catnip.
Not all at once now, milady. And I can call Emmy milady because she's informed us that she is descended of Polish royalty. They may be descended of no longer in the call. Oh god, she's literally not in the call.
Should I take over?
Yeah, sure. Gelden's up.
Yeah.
The man with whom I, in a house divided for 3 sessions, could not roll above a 9.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
We'll tell that story later. Finish it up. Oh, Emmy. Milady. We'll call you that until we are old, that we die of old age.
I am tired. Those centipedes really pack a punch. I think I need a bit of a cat nap. Sounds good.
And you are playing who and what?
I am playing Asiri Juliana, the Black Cat of Ravengrow, and I am a catfolk.
A cat
So
folk
yes,
what?
that was a cat pun.
What's the class? Gotta really feed this one to you.
Oh boy, you want me to go through all that, not just a review?
Uh-huh.
All right, I am a shaman with a life spirit doing the Serendipity Shaman archetype.
Good enough. That's all I needed. And you got the hero point. I think I may have missed it from the other two. No, whatever. We're running super behind. Robin, once upon a time we couldn't roll well together, but then you nat 20 the very first roll of Carrion crown. And that was a good thing.
Also, I think I rolled like 4 natural 20s in that one session.
Yeah, you were
It's pretty
killing it.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared of what's going to come next because I feel like all that good luck has to be punished at some point. All things are balanced and stuff.
Okay, thanks.
I don't want
I
to
think I ate your
annihilate
bad luck.
half of everything, so I'm not that crazy.
Good, good. Anyway, who are you? What are you playing in character reflection from session 1?
My character's name is Geldan Dunkelschatten. I'm playing as Kayal, Shadow Sorcerer. For those who don't know, Kayals are fetchlings, which are denizens of the Shadow Plane. What else?
Well,
Was there anything else about the character itself before I jump into the story?
No, that's all totally fine.
Okay, good. Last session, we pretty much skipped an encounter by intimidating some angry townsfolk, which was the first natural 20 I rolled that session with an intimidate check. That was really amusing, which allowed us to play a lot more than we were expecting to. Yeah, pretty much. Geldan feels like there's a lot of fishy stuff going on, especially with the things that we read in the notes and the books about things on the cemetery, which he sadly didn't manage to investigate himself. Normally, he's not that bad at sneaking, but that night he really messed up. But thankfully, with his silver tongue, he managed to talk himself out of that, pretending to be a drunkard and just not finding the way, wanting to take a shortcut over the graveyard. Totally normal stuff, you know. And now he is waiting for his new found, well, not quite friends yet, but teammates, wanting to find out what they managed to find on the graveyard before we further investigate other locations like maybe the destroyed prison.
Okay, fair enough. I take that hero point, and we will dive in with my first question. And my first question goes to Geldern and Molden. You guys have to, as I've said like a million times, if I let you guys do anything that that would involve the scenario in the Restlands, we create a strange time paradox, and we're not about that. So you guys have gone out of line of sight of the Restlands, but we are kind of rolling back the clock a little bit. If there's anywhere else you guys would like to go tonight, anything you'd like to do tonight, the floor belongs to you two. Or if you'd like to just go call it a night, we can do that too.
Since we can't directly interfere with anything on the graveyard, I'm not quite sure if there's much we can do. We don't have, as far as I remember, we don't have any more leads within this town, and venturing out of the town in the middle of the night is probably not the best idea.
Yeah, how about we go back and watch over the house and the woman that we're...
Yeah, I mean, we are still supposed to watch over the daughter of. I don't know what the background story for you was, but for me, it's the daughter of my good friend who passed away. Take it very serious to fulfill his last wish and keep watch over her so that she won't get hurt. So it doesn't feel wasted to go back and continue with that mission. I've already been feeling somewhat nervous about leaving her alone. Like, if we get asked to watch over her by my friend, then he has good reason to ask for that.
Okay, Molden agrees.
I mean, yes, I have no problems watching over her.
Okay, so then the night will pass for you two. For Edgar and Asiri, who have successfully infiltrated the old crypt of Pharasma, fought off some centipedes, and found that secret stash, but have chosen to hide in that one single, I don't want to call it a sarcophagus, but that one single crypt, rather. The one place where a body would be. I'm really bad at Gothic horror games, I guess. The guards go out screaming when they see Edgar draw his sword, and it's all of, I want to say, 5 minutes before they come back, and you hear the sounds of several booted feet making their way into the crypt. And all right now, if anybody's in here, y'all better show yourselves. I see you done wrecked my lock. I see there's some centipedes in here too. If y'all come out now, we'll go easy on you. There is very clearly one and only one place in here to hide, and you're in it. So, what do?
Can I see in there with my dark vision?
Yeah, it's probably really, really close quarters.
I look at you and say to you, well, not say, I nod my head over, like, should we? You know, like, eh. And I'm waiting, and then I give a small thumbs up or a thumbs down.
I suppose there is, in fact, only one place to hide, and we are in it. This is me thinking out loud, not in character. So, I guess I'll just give the thumbs up.
I move the coffin on the inside to let her side up first. Since he knows him, like slowly edging it that way.
Okay. So there's a lot of people in here now, and they're all looking for humanoids. So my first thought was, okay, strength check. If you roll real bad, it's going to be real shaky, like a zombie's pushing its way out, and you're in danger. But they know there's a couple humanoids in here, and by the time the thing comes up and open and you two get up, Grimborough is in the Restlands in the crypt rather, with probably about a dozen other clerics of Pharasma in addition to those two gravediggers and several more. All of them have weapons drawn, except for Grimborough. Her steps forward. All right, explain yourself right now, and give me one good reason why I shouldn't just haul you down to the sheriff.
Because it is a false crypt. There were no bodies in here, well, ours aside. And therefore, if the tomb is false, if it is not really, truly a grave, then it is not grave robbing, is it?
What about you? Bangfear, you got anything to say?
I asked the people watching the graveyard if I could go in, and I gave them my reason that I believe there is more to the professor's death, and this was one of the last places. He was, according to some notes he left, and I just wanted to see what he wanted in here. And that is all.
Okay.
I did not lie to any of these people. That is what I told them.
Then I would need both of you to make diplomacy checks.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy.
I've finally gotten unlazy and hooked up my second monitor, so I don't have to use my phone for the book, which is good, because there's a lot of jumping. So we're at that. Okay. Ugh, alrighty. Anytime, you two.
Woo!
Yeah. Working on it here.
Okay, that's respectable.
Diplomacy. I was looking up what it was. I had. I
Understood.
forgot.
So we have a 21 from Asiri. We have 5 from...
Yeah.
Okay. So Chewie's Aid Another is unsuccessful, and the 21 is the number that stands. Okay. So my boys tell me that you got some weird thing coming out of your hand. They're saying devil magic. They're saying witchcraft. I don't know what all it is. But you have my boys running to the church like Tar Baffin had woke up from the sleep of the dead himself. And you say this is a false crypt. It's very clear. And at this point, people have come around and they see what you guys have found. At some point in time, the church was using this as a stockpile, as a place to hide. I don't know why we got all this anti-ghost stuff here. But this is church property. You are stealing and you are grave robbing. And I'm very sorry, but I'm going to take y'all both now down to the sheriff. You can come peacefully, or, well, I'll just say it this way. Edgar, was it? Yeah. It's been a while since I've fought a vampire, but I'm pretty sure I got enough positive energy in my little finger to set you on fire.
Well, the trip down to the sheriff's might go a little bit faster with a couple potions of restoration, as we were hit pretty hard by those centipedes.
And that's unfortunate, but that's church property and not your property. And like as he's talking, his people are taking everything you found.
Then what is the proper way? Is there paperwork to fill out?
For stealing? No. Now we talked enough.
No, for using this.
He holds up his hand and positive energy starts flowing through it. Are we done talking?
Sure.
So you guys are led out by a pretty big retinue of holy folks down across the breadth and width of Raven Grow. It's we'll say it's the, I don't remember the deity date, but we're gonna say it's the 2nd of April because it's been a while since the date in February when the professor was able to update his will. You guys wanted to go at dark, so it's probably, at this point, it's probably like 10:30. You guys are led back to the sheriff, who has been roused by more of this scene that is rapidly developing, and there are some people who are still awake, even though night in Ustalov comes pretty fast, because things go bump in the night out here. The sheriff is very disheveled. His hair is all over the place. Y'all are led into his office. Grimburg gives him the quick story. Well, so be it. If he isn't lying, and I don't think that the father of my church would be lying, looks like the pair of you stand accused of grave robbing, breaking and entering, disturbing the peace, and they say witchcraft. At the very least, you are under arrest.
Understood. But we didn't physically take anything out of the graveyard, so only 2 of those should apply.
Diplomacy.
Yeah. $20.
All right.
Not on that, but all together.
Miss Siri, want to throw anything at that?
Sure. pow!
Okay. Well, I suppose they're right, Father. Though we found them, did you say, and he leans in, hiding in the crypt they were robbing? They didn't steal anything, and everything is intact. And was there something about something weird with the professor's death? I don't know about all that. I don't want to hear none of that from you, boy. They could have stole valuable church property.
Could have, but we did not.
Because we caught you first, cat.
The professor was like a father to me, and I was retracing his steps. His notes led me to there, and I wanted to see what was in the crypt he was interested in.
And unfortunately, we can't charge Patrus Lorrimore for grave robbing posthumously, can we?
I know that. So I understand why you think that, but my plan was not to steal, just to look. Going in.
And given the town's predisposition towards us, it seemed wise at the time to hide, lest we get accused of what we're being accused of now.
Because I feel like literally almost everyone, only a few people, he has been kind to me and the new folks in, and I'm just worried someone is waiting for me to make any type of slip up to kill me.
Alright, you get one more diplomacy check. This has weirdly become a diplomacy challenge.
Darn it.
Chewy.
Yeah. I did good.
There we go.
Unfortunately, the DC is really high, and there are things at play that increase it even farther. Well, we'll talk more about this when I do the reflection on part 1 of Carrion Crown when we get through it. But the 23 does fail.
Oh.
Dang.
I've heard enough. I'm tired, and I want to go back to bed. At the very least, we're going to hold the pair of you here tonight. We'll figure out more in the morning.
Okay.
Probably round up your friends, too.
So do we get a lawyer or something, or how does this work in this town?
He points at the cell, and people open it. You going to walk, or are you going to get dragged?
I'm going to walk. I do have dignity.
Yeah, I walk, but like one of my legs is probably still limp
For sure.
from the centipede poison.
Yeah. So you guys are stripped of all of your gear, down to basically just like sacks to cover your shame. Lulu is put in a different cage on the other side of the prison, frantically against the sides of the walls and stuff. Everyone files out except for Grimborough. He moves to the iron barred cage you two have been put in. All right, Danfield. Show me your hand right now.
Should I explain to you what the creature is
You
first
should show
before
me your
you jump to
hand, or
conclusions?
I will kill you.
I show it to them. Shouldn't I explain, though, what
Nope.
this is,
You
as I
should-
saw on both palms?
You should explain nothing. He reaches through the bar, then as he does so, he like stops at the last second and tags himself on the arm to dispel the positive energy, then takes you by the wrist. And despite his advanced age, he is much stronger than he looks. He pulls your hand up, and the mouth begins kind of gnashing as it gets inexorably closer and closer to his face. And in your mind's ear, just, Master, we are in danger. Master, kill him, kill him,
Master.
kill them all.
Listen, I am your master, and it's just a little setback. We need to find the leader of the evil group. He is just an annoyance, but not one that deserves my attention to get rid of, I say in my head. So we should not even deal with him.
So my boss told me that this became a sword. He lets go of your hand.
Well, this is a Consonance carbuncle. Have you heard of one?
I have. I know exactly what I'm looking at. I've just never seen one turned into a sword before.
Well, I picked up a sword, and mine was able to bind with the sword somehow.
Prove it.
I step back, and I call upon the sword.
Okay. And it comes out of your hand in its full glory. Grimborough steps back a little bit, and his hand goes down to his dagger. Well, I've seen the carbuncles before. I've seen black blades before. I ain't never seen them together. How's it? They're not supposed to do that. It's not. Do me a favor, but will you, I'd like you to put that sword on the ground, please, and kick it over here.
You do know black blades are sentient.
I know a lot of things. Now, are you going to do what I ask or not?
I will, but you do know they don't like people who aren't their master to hold them.
He just kind of taps his hand impatiently on the pommel of his dagger.
I set it down, and I slowly slide it. And I said, don't worry.
As Edgar goes to set the blade down, you find that, you can let go of it. You can, hear his sword in hand. You open your hand, let go. But you cannot remove your hand from it. As if it were, hot glued onto you. And as you pull up, there's, the skin stretches a little. It's kind of painful as well. The weight of the sword is pulling against the weight of the palm of your skin. Man, that's about what I thought. I'd have to say, that thing's probably as much a part of you as you are a part of it. I don't know where you picked it up. And I don't know what you're doing in Ravengrove other than attending the funeral of somebody who tried to steal from my church, whether or not I knew it was there, notwithstanding. That's property of my people. I have a problem with that. I don't know what the sheriff's going to do to you, but I trust his judgment. But I'm pretty sure if that thing were to be removed from your hand, it'd probably kill you dead. That's what happens when we tangle with alchemical? No, it ain't no alchemy. Something more. Strange. Evil for certain. I can feel it. And he holds out his hand and closes his eyes and no, that's not. There ain't nothing holy about that. Far from it.
Isn't it only evil if the person who wielding it chooses to be evil with it?
Mechanical questions don't go in the stream. Says Grimborough as his eyes stare off into the distance.
Gotcha. So I say, but if I use it in good, wouldn't that make it good?
Nope. That thing is much more powerful than you are, I'd wager. I don't know why it doesn't just flat consume you. I'm gonna assume it has something to do with your vampire hair. I don't. And he holds his hands up, just kind of far be it from me. But again, boy, let me remind you, it's been 20 years since I gave up working with the voice of the spire and wandering into crypts and purging the undead. But I'm pretty sure that I got enough positive energy, and he waggles his pinky at you. Right here, to send you screaming to Pharasma. We're gonna be watching you no matter what happens, short of you being sent to your grave.
Alrighty. Your church is good at fighting the undead, but there are secret traditions, vampire hunter traditions, and other stuff that goes to other undead, and with your permission, I would like to teach you all some of that information.
Yeah, my boys
Think of it like community service.
My boys told me that you told them that before you sent the devil blade out of your hand.
I wasn't expecting that reaction from them.
He also gave them holy water.
My holy water is a bit more potent than the average kind, but its downside is it is only stable for a day before it's rendered inert.
Yeah, we've worked with alchemists in the past. It's not uncommon.
So with my influence and me teaching them, I could teach them to make a more powerful version. They won't be able to stockpile it, but they'll be able to make it quickly in the morning when they need to.
I'd say you're just lucky they didn't throw it at your face when you did what you did. In any case, I've said enough, I think. I'm retiring for the night. Y'all enjoy your time here in Ravengrove. And he turns and departs. The night passes.
Oh, he turns into parts. I thought you said he turns into parts.
And he
like,
turns
parts of
into
what?
Mega Blocks, and he goes away, and he's gonna rebuild himself. He's using the retrain class feature. He'd like to be an Inquisitor now. Or it's like a druid, so he can grow something with teeth. Anyway, the night passes. The morning comes. It's about... I will say... probably like the crack of dawn. Probably like 7 in the morning when the sheriff comes in. And as he does so, he opens the door with his longsword drawn, and he opens it with one hand, and he comes walking in. His face is completely flustered. He's already, even though it's not warm yet, he's sweated through his armor and his hat.
What's going on?
He opens your cell, does not return anyone's gear, and leaves Lulu, so you haven't prepped any new spells, in her cage. Y'all better come down here. And without a word, he leads you, and by leads you, I mean pulls you out of cell, the pair of you, walks behind you with his sword drawn, out into Ravengrow proper. It's about 5 minutes later when a runner and 5 armed individuals come with that runner to the Lorimore house. Well, I'll like... And this simple peasant man withdraws a little written note. By order of the... I'm sorry, Raven's kind of hard. They want the 3 of you, Miss Lorimore, and your friends here, they'd like you to come down to town. Something's happened. Kendra nods, grabs her spellbook. And all of you are led down to the center of town. Ifin, you could make a perception check for me.
Everyone?
Yeah, all 4 of you. Everyone is back together.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, Lulu cannot this time. Her
Nope.
perception is much better than mine.
Perception, that's not really my thing. I leave that to people who are more perceptive.
Okay.
You can at least attempt.
Yeah, he can. Okay. So, in the center of town.
I'm still sleepy. I just rolled a 3.
And make sure I got the right place. Okay, so there is in Ravengrow, there's a memorial, and Siri would know this. I say center of town, it's actually... Oh, where are you? Where is Area O on the map? There is no Area O. This place just doesn't exist. Okay, there it is. It's up the river. It's basically on the opposite side of town for everyone who is imprisoned. Only a relatively short jaunt for everyone who has not. A memorial was erected when when the prison burned down to commemorate those lost in the fire. Upon said monument, in blood, the letter V has been scrawled upon it. Several people have gathered. Grimborough is here. The sheriff is now here with our jailbirds. Basically everyone who's important in the city of Ravengrow. You guys arrive, and everyone turns to the 4 of you. Grimborough speaks for the whole, even the mayor is here, but Father Grimborough is the one who steps up. All right. Now speak plainly, y'all. Y'all know anything about what happened here?
The sheriff told us there was a riot in the prison and it burnt down.
That was some time ago. I'm talking about, and he walks over to where there's a bloody V on this memorial, and he circles it. This right here. Y'all don't know anything about this?
Oh, I didn't see that before. I'm still somewhat sleepy.
I don't know.
I'm assuming it has something to do with this place being haunted. That's my best guess.
This place is haunted?
Yeah, no kidding.
First I've heard of that.
Well, does anyone first know what kind of blood that is? Are we talking animal blood? Has someone murdered someone and used their blood?
Are there any tracks?
Kind of
or anything?
important information, right?
Tracks would be behind a survival check. What the blood is would be pretty high knowledge nature, but a knowledge nature.
I want to make the survival check. I can add my class level to it.
Okay.
I would like to try
Nice.
both survival and knowledge nature. So, yeah, nothing on the nature.
Boop.
This is with my track skill.
Okay.
Skills.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the knowledge nature and the
Oh, low today.
And I get a
Survival.
racial bonus to this, so...
+8. Boop. 24 for survival. And then
You know it's half your class, right, Chewie?
It says my class on the... for the vampire hunter.
Dang.
Huh.
Fair enough. Is there a perception check coming from Emmy? Why, yes, there is.
that's
Okay.
nature check.
Nature check, yes. Okay, so the blood is clearly mammalian, but it's really hard to say just by looking at a red stain on a statue, whether it came from a human or a rat or a horse or a cat or a dragon or, well, I guess the dragon would probably be some kind of magic-y, but whatever, you get the idea.
Mhm.
Hard to say. The survival checks, Malden and Chewie working together, Malden and Edgar working together, excusez-moi, are enough. You guys are able to find they aren't.
Yeah, you're right, it is half. So it is a 23.
So it's a 23.
Well, I did throw the 21 in there too.
Good. There's so
So?
many successful aid. No, there's Milady.
Or 24.
All right, Milady. I love that I have a friend that's literal royalty, so I can call them that. I'm gonna have to buy a fedora and just like Milady. In any case, between the three of you, you are able to find some tracks that lead off. They appear.
Is there any identifying information about those tracks?
They are very clearly a medium humanoid's boot prints. There's only one.
Only one boot print?
Only one set. It's not
Okay.
the one-legged man.
So they're letting us investigate the area anyways. That's kind of funny. Do not see these clear tracks heading away from here. They're clearly not us.
You call that clear? I didn't even see the blood at first.
I'm talking to the others. Talking to Father Gummy here.
Father Grimber is my name. The dirty thief set y'all on fire with the glory of Pharasma. He begins like a Southern Baptist revival on the spot. People bring in several tents and off we go. We're all making cornbread. I live in the South, basically. Well, those indeed are tracks. At this point, a lot of people have been like ran off by the sheriff, just kind of go about your business, nothing to see here. Though clearly there's a lot to see here. Leaving just the sheriff and Grimborough and the four of you.
Well, the V could stand for name. Is anyone in this town name starts with a V?
The V could also stand for 5. So maybe we should follow the tracks.
It could stand for 5 as well.
I say, hey, why don't we follow the tracks and see where these lead?
Do we have your permission, Father and Seraph, to follow the tracks? I'm only asking.
What's going on?
I'm only asking because of what happened last
What
night.
happened? Yeah, what happened last night?
Well, we got drunk.
Yeah.
While y'all was drinking, we found your friends infiltrating one of our caches that we didn't know was there. I'm gonna have to have a talk with Zion. You went in there thinking there was a secret passage or something. No, there's literally one place in there to look. He failed to do so. Nevertheless, your friends were caught and have been accused of stealing church property. And, well, your friend here's got some. He can tell you on his own. And Grimbur's brow furrows. Looks a little grim when I say. In any case, I gotta go have a talk with the mayor about all this. There's clearly something going on here. Whether it's y'all or something else, we need to get organized. I can't stop y'all from doing anything.
Edgar and Asiri, why are you wearing just burlap sacks? Where is your armor?
Sheriff, may I have my armor back?
You can have it back when you've proven that you deserve it.
Understood.
And Sheriff, are we under suspicion as well? Molden and Geldrin?
Not yet. Outsiders don't come through Ravengrove that much.
And are we under suspicion of this supposed bloody five here?
Or V?
Or V?
I don't quite know yet. There's a lot of pieces moving here.
Would you like to come investigate with us? Because I'm very curious to find out what the source of this. I usually root out evil. That is my job, usually.
One thing I'm somewhat scared of is that this might be a trick to lure us away from protecting... What was her name again? I should write that down. Kendra. Could you write that down?
Yeah.
I can just...
I'll put it in chat after this.
What about Asiri's animal friend? Can she Asiri have her animal friend back?
She can have her animal friend back when we give Edgar back his armor. I'm no fool. I know how she prepares her magic. She needs to talk to that bird there.
Pululu.
Well,
Well, you two really stepped in it, didn't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
So, Sheriff, are we allowed to investigate and find out what, I guess, you are accusing us of?
Well, at the moment, I have paperwork to fill out. I don't think Asiri or Edgar are gonna get far. I wouldn't go out there, and he waves at like the countryside in general, bereft of clothing and bereft of weaponry. And even if you did, we got enough men and horses to catch folks. Y'all can go take a look if you want. I certainly cannot stop you.
And me and you, and us would be definitely easy to catch with the poison we've those centipedes
On that
injected
note,
us with.
you guys have rested for one night, so 1 point of dex back to each of you.
Yeah.
Pretty relevant when someone in the party has 3 dex.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
that,
relevant.
that lowers the Milos by 1 at least, from 3 to 4. It improves.
Indeed.
Well, you clerics, will you not help Asiri with her problems?
Will I help grave robbers? No, I will not. She'll live or die on that one on her own, as far as I'm concerned.
Seems very uncharitable, but I understand to a point.
My church ain't no charity. We're here to protect Ravengrove from the undead, from orcs, and from grave robbers. And at that last one, his eyes go over Edgar and Asiri.
You seem to have a lot of suspicion on everybody. It's interesting. All right. Well, we will solve your problems for you.
Can you guys make a quick perception check for me?
Yep, sure.
No, Gilder.
Still sleepy.
More sleepy.
Okay.
I'm
So
more awake.
you can tell that nobody else around you hears this. But in your mind's ear, the pair of you, there is the tolling of a bell. As that happens, the V or 5, it's very clear now it is a V, on the statue is hangmaned forward, ESOR.
ESOR.
To spell VESOR.
Visor.
Visor. Well, maybe the culprit is signing his own name.
It's
It
also,
just-
after this happens, it's very clear that nobody else sees that. It's just you guys.
Just us. Okay,
Mhm.
that's super weird. Now I have even more of a suspicion that we are being drawn away from the one that we are supposed to protect. I don't want her to let her out of my sight. This seems really fishy.
Well, perhaps 2 of us should stay with her, and 2 of us should go off finding whatever that is.
The problem is 2 of us are absolutely worthless right now.
Yeah.
I am not that bad. I am almost towards an average person. You could
Which is
say-
fairly bad in a world of magic.
There's also a third option. We can try talking to her and maybe convince her to stay with the father for the duration that we are out of town.
Isn't she with us right now?
She is. She's literally hearing this whole
Can you trust
conversation.
the father?
She's with us.
With the, did she just stayed with the priest? I mean, he's by far more powerful than a lot of us.
He is more powerful, but why do you trust somebody we don't know? Why do we? I don't even know why I'm trusting you guys.
Well, it's pretty simple.
You guys.
She has been living here in this town forever, so and
So has
trusting
everybody
her
else.
to him is pretty
So has-
okay.
Everybody else in this town has lived here forever. We are the only outsiders. So, and we're the. I didn't go around carving a V in blood anywhere in a statue. Did any of you do it?
I've been in
No.
jail.
Then therefore, it's probably not one of the people that are new. It's probably somebody that's been here forever that has done this, right?
Not
Let's investigate
necessarily.
the tracks and find out.
Okay.
I still don't have boots.
What?
I'm assuming, well, the 2 of us that were in jail don't have boots, so it couldn't have been us.
Yeah, you 2 are barefoot.
Yeah, I was saying.
Why can they not have clothes? Give them clothes at least. I mean, just regular clothes is not a dangerous thing for them to have.
Burlap sacks are the regular clothes of a fantasy small Eastern European town.
Yes, but shoes on a cobblestone or rocky road. I want shoes.
You gotta watch out for
Straight up,
those
I mean,
couch
granted,
hops.
my character wouldn't care, but I don't know about you guys. Maybe the cat character won't care either.
Yeah, it's fine. Can you guys really quickly? It's a Arcana or Religion check.
Oh, that's something that I can
Can I do
actually
both?
do.
Yeah, both is fine.
And if it, is it to do monster lore?
It is not.
Anything that has to do with, okay. Because I get the bonus for monster lore.
Oof, oof.
Arcana. Religion.
Okay.
Well,
there's probably
someone
enough
did well with
successes.
religion.
Okay, yeah, there's enough successes there to make one of those and aid another. Okay, sure. So as you guys are deliberating this, you're drawn more and more to the statue and the letters that have appeared basically out of nowhere onto it. And how they seem to follow no random pattern. It was just bell tolling and they appeared. It's very obvious, given that there were tracks and things, that this was done by humanoid. Someone came here and put the blood on the thing The rest are an anomaly, and you begin to like try to process why that might have happened, something, and it's
Demon werewolves?
not even close. It seems more to be completely random. There's no reason for that to have happened, and nevertheless it has, and it's probably has some kind of impact somewhere. And there's only really one thing that can do that. And that is the casting of certain powerful spells that, when used to achieve things they should not normally achieve, have side effects. Only Robin and Chewie are going to know what I'm talking about, because Anthony wasn't there and he wasn't with us. But there were several wishes cast in Doomsday Dawn. The first one has just been redeemed.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect them to trek over to here.
It's
wow.
the same universe, just several years back.
Wishes have the power to
Oh.
travel through
Does-
space
does-
and
does it-
time.
Does it mean we are reincarnations of the characters we used the wishes?
Ish. Weird reverse reincarnations, because this is several years back.
It's called magic.
Yeah, that's
Pretty much.
magic.
Okay.
Can
so
I detect evil? I would like to cast detect evil.
You detect none evil.
I would
No,
like to cast Detect Evil, but I can't.
Haha. Well, you have your spells.
Well,
you
I
just did
can
not
detect-
regain any slots that were used from last night, to be clear.
So you have
Which
your
was
zeros.
all of them?
So
Oh,
you have your zeros
rough.
at least.
Yeah, you do have your cantrips. Orisons.
I have at will to basically detect alignment.
Okay.
I can detect any alignment at will. I mean, granted, it's the same as like casting detect evil, detect good, detect law, detect chaos,
Gotcha.
and they each take the rounds and all that stuff, and they still have the same side effects. If there's something over my strength or whatever, if I like double my hit my level or something like that, I go stunned for a round. That's after 2 rounds, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think we should go investigate the tracks. I'm pretty sure our ward here will be fine on her own. I mean, she's lived in this town forever, and if anything is going to happen to her, what are we going to do about it at this point?
I would like to use my ability to detect undead, but I want to use the 3-round version of it to see if there's any lingering undead ore. To see if there's anything like that, just to cover all bases.
There's not.
Yeah.
Well, it was alive.
I will do a casual detect magic.
You got nothing.
Okay, it doesn't ping. So, which is strange after the strange vision we just had.
Well, to try and be useful, I will give everybody a little bit of guidance for 1 minute or until discharged.
Yay.
Can do some more skill checks. Well, let's follow those
head
tracks
out.
then.
Okay.
Yes.
So y'all head in the direction of the tracks. They aren't hard to follow now that you guys know what you're looking for, but they're very like, it was clear a humanoid did it, but the gait of like the walk, the spacing of the footfalls, etc., are really draggy. There are some points where the feet are a little like ducked out a little bit, and some points they're a little more straight. There are some points where like one of the feet clearly went down and was like dragged in the mud along the river. And then there are some points where like there was a dead sprint.
Maybe this person has a limp, and then where the sprint happened, like a wolf or something got near him. I say to the others.
He certainly has he or she has a strange way of walking.
Eventually,
But you said you didn't detect any undead
No.
signs?
So it's not a zombie dragging this way, and even so, that had to be some resilient to even run this way from my experiences.
Eventually, the
What
tracks
did you say,
lead you
Tommy?
back to a little shack on the river. And without having to make any check at all, Asiri knows that shack is owned by none other than the man who almost interrupted the funeral, Gibbs Hephanis.
Well, I guess let's go pay old Gibbs a visit.
And we should be very polite, for he won't attack us.
No. That's just no.
Says the man with buffs to intimidate checks. Yeah, no. Politeness.
Yeah. No.
And I see. I'll let you answer the knock on the door then.
Man, I'm so happy that we don't have a paladin around.
Yeah.
We can use the
man.
third degree to get
Yeah,
information.
it's great.
I don't know. I've been around a bunch of paladins. They love me. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Lawful good does not mean
They kind
lawful
of
nice.
brought up by my
Exactly.
Lawful good does not mean lawful nice.
It does not. Okay, so you approach the door.
Do we have windows? I would like to spot through the window first.
The shack has no windows. It's literally just like a really crappy ramshackle shack built on the side of
Okay.
the river.
If it's that crappy, do we have like spaces between the boards that we can look through?
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that one. Perception it is then.
All right, let's roll a perception check. Great that I'm so good at those. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, there it is.
amazing.
Whew!
Another
Perception.
natural one. That's 2 this game.
It's a 1/400. Anybody else want to tempt fate?
It's the West
So-
causing us to roll this way.
Two people just had a natural one in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I turn both of those into natural 2s and use my save for the day?
Can you do it more than one time in a day?
A number of times per day equal to my level.
Nice. Well, there you go. So we have a 2 and a 10, or a 12. Or not even a 12, a 4. If that was another. We have a 10. Anybody else want to look with their eyes? Look with their hands?
I don't think you want
Uh,
my hand looking.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Sure. I'll take a look.
Why can you lick people with your hand?
Oh,
Okay.
It will be explained when we're not investigating this, but I assure you it will be explained.
Is Chewie not going to roll perception?
I will roll, but I will be look with my eyes.
At this point, we need something. There we go. A 12. Okay, so everyone kind of tries to crowd around that same hole in the boards at the same time, and there's a lot of like, let me look, no, let me look, kind of like back and forth. And there's a point where Malden and Geldern almost like just flat knock each other's heads together, but they miss. Just like a Siri sees it, says a quick thing, and rather they just kind of like gently grit, like they turn their heads at the last second, so it's almost like an awkward Lady in the Tramp kind of situation. Nevertheless, it's enough for the brakes to get pumped real fast, and so no one hurts their poor little hands. Edgar, on the other hand, finds a different hole to look through, and it's very clear Gibbs is not home. His bed lies messy, and that's probably always given who he is. Pillow on the ground, blankets on the ground, and by pillow and blankets, what I mean is here's a crappy thing stuffed with straw, and here's like a wolf hide. Have fun. The whole place reeks of booze.
He's not home right now, guys. But I think one of us should stay watch while the rest of us go and investigate. In case
Can
he
I
returns.
Can I see any other tracks leading away, maybe?
Survival.
Hey,
Ooh,
also,
I can do that. And
Chewie.
guidance, so let's make that another bonus.
Oh yeah.
also, Edgar, would you also like to take a look at
Nope.
these tracks?
What tracks?
Jesus.
Okay. So Malden and Edgar don't really have a whole heck of a lot of much. Asiri can find, like, not a lot of people come out this way. It's awkward that Gibbs would want you to bury the professor out basically by where he lives, but you can find tracks out to like the fields. You assume he like woke up and went to work, which for Gibbs usually translates as get drunk and laugh at people while pretending to do work.
He
He's
sounds
that
fun.
guy. Not really.
Well,
a
right
whole
now
lot
we
of
have no
evidence.
evidence other than footprints. Footprints leading from the V to here.
Rather leading from here to the V. Well, no, you would find both back. Like it was like a big circle.
And even then, that's circumstantial at best. Not circum. That would not be enough to convince the sheriff or anybody of any wrongdoing.
Do fingerprints knowledge exist yet?
Nope. Not quite. We got a lot of magic. Don't know what a fingerprint is.
How about we go find this Gibbs character and see what he knows? Maybe jog his memory a little. Anybody else on board with that, or am I the only one?
That does sound like a good idea.
I'm on board with
And
that.
if we open the door, we'd be accused of breaking and entering. If he's innocent.
Yes. I do not plan to break and enter into any place.
Totally.
So,
I mean, the door was already open. Wink, wink.
he was drunk. He forgot to close it.
Maybe when the rest of our party is at full, I will be more willing to take such risks. But as of right now, let us go find Gibbs and see if he has a reason to be where he was and when he was, and why he wasn't in. He wasn't in the town center, correct?
Right, no.
Yeah. And it looks like he was clearly there from what we understand. So maybe we should find out why he wasn't there, when he wasn't there.
I've one question for the trackers. You guys are pretty good at like reading tracks. So, do you think that he might have been wounded, and that's why he was walking so weirdly? Maybe he drew with his own blood.
I'm not sure. I don't know the person very well. Gibbs does. I met him once in the graveyard, and I've already taken a disliking to him.
Okay,
Maybe.
I'm just wondering if you can figure out if we can discern if he was just plain drunk and that's why he was walking so strange, or if this seems like the walk of someone who's wounded.
Was there any blood along the tracks now that he mentioned that?
There was not.
Okay, so it's more likely that he was just straight up still drunk.
So, but he was. From what I remember, the description it was a weird, awkward gait where he was kind of dragging, and then all of a sudden, he switched to running.
And it goes back and forth like that. Yeah.
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 Was
an
last night a full
person
moon?
Doesn't normally run as they are, walking awkwardly as well. That just doesn't seem normal.
Anthony is correct. As Siri, last night was not a full moon. Even if it was, there would be like, if the train of thought then becomes he became some kind of lichen something, like you'd have found the boots, and also the footprints would have changed drastically.
True.
Also, wasn't the full moon just a couple of days ago? Wasn't that why you were attacked by a werewolf?
Yeah.
You guys seem to have told that cleric everything.
I didn't tell him everything. I just told him I was following the professor's last moments of life through notes he left.
Yeah. Just to remind me to never tell you guys any secrets.
Right?
We
On our way to find Gibbs, why don't you tell me about that licking hand thing?
looking hand, and I say, well, do you know monsters, it seems. Have you heard of a consonance carbuncle before?
I don't know. Have I?
That would probably be behind a religion check. And yes, it's monster lore. Nope.
How is that possible?
You are.
You add 3 to that still, so it's a 10.
Well,
A 10's not enough.
well,
It's still a 10.
Right.
Okay, so
Well,
religion.
Before I show you,
Guidance. I'm gonna see if I got anything with this consonants carbuncle. Hey!
Siri definitely knows what one is.
Can I get any good rolls? Any of them?
Nope, you can't.
You're asking too much, obviously.
1, 2,
Malden.
1, 2.
Malden, it is a. Think of it like a a symbiotic relationship. It needs me to live, but it can live, so it helps protect me.
So a parasite.
And
Yeah, but this one could
No.
probably
No,
eat you
a
whole.
parasite would consume its host and slowly
no,
drain
it doesn't
While
feed off
symbiote,
me. I keep it alive, and it helps keep me alive. It's too weak to survive on its own, type of a thing. So it needs someone else, and I've chosen to let one into me as I reveal my hand. And you guys see the
detective.
mouth.
Yes, indeed.
I mean-
Texas evil.
what was your reasoning that you already look creepy enough, so it wouldn't matter to look even creepier?
But this consonance carbuncle is slightly different than the average kind. It sort of became one with a sword, and I can call upon the sword. And I found in the sword, I picked it up, and it decided, hey, it liked me. So I'm like, okay. It says calls me master, so I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's fight the undead together.
You did say it detected as evil, right, Tommy?
Yes, it definitely detects as evil.
But did I detect as evil?
No, just the thing in your hand.
I think one day it might consume you, but it's your choice.
It will not consume me. We have a good relationship. I believe.
You come across slightly naive, if you ask me.
I like look at them with my eyes like I know, but I don't want to act. Kind of a look on that. No, but our current setup we have with each other is best for both of us, if you get my drift.
Mhm.
Why do you not hide anything? You do not hide your heritage. You do not hide your carbuncle. You do not hide.
I hid my carbuncle until I decided to use it.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, you
I
could have.
I noticed something was off about you earlier. You did a very poor job at hiding it.
Well, I wasn't expecting to hide it from magic users when I came here.
Well, I do recommend that if you're trying to hide it, you shouldn't keep it on your hands. I think you can move it to anywhere on your body.
It's my hands.
Only your hands? Okay.
Gloves, but then
Yeah.
the sword problem. It could eat the glove, then, when I need to call it out. But I think that I'd lose a lot of money on gloves.
You should just buy a glove with like a pocket in it, so you can just like
Yeah, maybe
open a small window.
A zipper pocket on the glove.
like
Yeah,
a
kind of
Velcro
like
thing.
that.
You just rip it
I
open
mean-
and then the thing comes out.
I don't think we have zippers, but we
So-
certainly have buttons.
Are we gonna quit bickering amongst ourselves and get going?
Sorry,
Sure,
it's not
let's
every
change the
day that
subject.
you get to talk about a carbuncle. It's a rare find.
It is not a common find.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, so you guys are walking as you're talking. There's a lot of back and forth, and Mulden,
Yes.
much like Tommy, is very confused as to why everyone's such an open book. But you guys hear Gibbs long before you see him, just shouting random nothings at everyone around him. He has a following of about a dozen like-minded male individuals. You find him sitting on the back of a cart, his back leaned up against a barrel, which leans back and forth dangerously as he puts too much weight on it. obviously he's very deep in his cups.
Okay.
I think he's drunk.
Yes, he obviously is.
Perfect. Which means he might slip up in what he says. Let's
Ah,
find
well.
out what's going on.
Should we, before we engage him, call the others? The sheriff,
Who's the others?
the cleric.
No.
I just don't want
What
to
is
end
that?
up in a confrontation where we have to fight those guys and they actually help them instead of us.
Yeah. Let's go say hi.
As you guys are walking up, Gibbs and his retinue see you guys just way first. Well, if it isn't them troublemakers from out of town, you're the ones what defaced the statue, weren't you? You think we don't think outsiders would do it? Totally like that? And Gibbs kind of like Rick Sanchez's a little bit of grossness out the front of his mouth.
Curious, Gibbs. Where were you last night?
Sleeping in my bed. Where were you? Outsider.
Unquote.
He's not lying.
Yes. Son of a bitch.
Oh,
Well, he could have just drawn it this morning instead of in the night. So that might just be a half truth.
So Gibbs, when you walk, do you run and drag your feet at the same time, kind of thing? I mean, I don't know how to explain it.
I don't know what you're talking
Well, he
about.
does-
What do you think I am? Some kind of... What even does that? What we do with running and dragging at the same time? I don't know, says a very small halfling man who has pipped his way up alongside here. Perhaps like a zombie that was real hungry? And everybody starts like guffawing real loud as people who are
Gatharin is
actually...
laughing.
As people who are, actually working the fields look disgustedly at them before going back to their plows.
So, Gibbs here, are you working or are you sitting here drinking instead of doing anything?
Yes.
I say at least he's honest about that.
Does anybody else have any questions? Because
Well, do we have? I mean, he just denied having
Well-
drawn that.
Well, you were not there at when everybody else was, so did you see it earlier? Before anyone else did? You didn't come to the mock assembly to look at it.
It's because some of us go to work for a living. Don't you know nothing about nothing? And he takes another swig
I
out of
thought
his
you said
bottle.
you weren't working just
Oh.
a while ago.
I'm working. I'm overseeing. These are more people here. We're on break right now. Thank you very much.
Does your work consist of drawing bloody V's on things?
He gets really quiet. Nah, I'm
No.
normal. I ain't like you freaks.
What makes us freaks? In your eyes?
That was the wrong one to ask that.
And as you say that, Edgar, the sun comes out from behind a cloud, and you're dazzled real quick, as if the clouds were to have parted to prove Gibbs's point. A ray of like direct sunlight hits you in the face, and you have to like stagger back. Well, we
Now,
stop
Gibbs.
what you are. What, cat?
Does anybody besides you live at your house, or is it just you?
No, I don't go down to the jungle and come back with friends.
That's what the professor went to the jungle and found you, or wherever you're from in the world.
Right, that's her backstory.
So, no one then, it's just you?
He nods. What can I say? Man like
Curious.
myself, I need solitary confinement. I don't have time for no women. Gotta be here working. He takes another drink.
I'm sure the
What if you
bartender would
are?
confirm that story.
Nods.
Well,
Mhm.
but there are clear tracks leading from the statue to your home and back. How do you explain that? If you saw it just now for the first time.
He hasn't seen it yet.
But if I had seen it, I would assume maybe one of y'all have some kind of magic power and you try to frame me. Maybe some kind of thing wandered out from the wilderness, came up out the water and flew down, landed and walked. I don't really know.
You don't seem to know much, do you?
It feels
Besides us
pointless to
being
talk.
outsiders. So,
No,
continue.
talk first.
Okay. Besides us being outsiders, do you have any concrete proof it was us?
I don't really think I'll need it. And his friends kind of all nod in approval. We in Ravengrow, well, we are each other's family. Even if we ain't kin, we're kin, you know? I don't think any of us would have done that. It's not right.
I understand, and I see that I do admire a group like that.
Yeah, you would. Associated with a necromancer, your guys' skeleton friends might be drawing things in blood on a sign somewhere.
I hate the undead.
Well, that's
So
the
why
thing
would
we
I
have in
assist-
common, my friend. Good. And he offers you his drink.
I take the drink
And he pulls it back.
I just
Before
take...
you have a chance to grab it, he does that, like, that high school hold out your hand for a handshake, and then when you go to take it, he snaps it back really fast and, like, parts his hair. You know what I'm talking about? Like, except it's
Can
with
I
a
shake
bottle.
my head disapprovingly at the vampire?
Well, I'm trying to play good cop. You play bad cop.
That is what the Inquisitor does.
Okay,
Like,
guys. Quick question. Why are you trying to argue with the drunk tart? It seems pretty pointless. He's drunk and he wasn't the brightest one in the first place. It just doesn't make sense to try to argue with him.
I just don't think he doesn't. I think he doesn't know anything. Even though
Yeah.
he is clearly involved, he just doesn't know.
Last question. Do you for me at least, do you have like any sleepwalking or memory loss or anything like that?
He drinks a lot, so I bet he has a lot of blackouts.
Hi now, I'll resent that. I hold me liquor. No, I said.
You resemble that, sir.
No, I keep trying to go back into Grimbro. No, I'll sleep just fine. Never had no sleepwalking, never had no trouble sleeping me whole life. Especially after I found the joys of ale. Right to bed, every night.
I mean, from all the drinking, his head is probably so much that it's probably very easy to mind control someone like him. There's not much of a resistance in there, I say. But if someone would truly able to control him, that would make that thing or person rather powerful. So I don't really like thinking about that option.
There's only really a few casters here that I know of.
Most of them are here.
In the fields?
Like you guys.
Well, there are also
yeah.
creatures who might be able to do things like that.
Yeah, there's like a wizard in
True.
town, Kendra, you guys, and the Pharasmans. And an alchemist, technically.
I wonder if the wizard knows anything.
Certainly you could go ask.
Perhaps he knows whatever that word was.
Maybe.
Speaking of which, what was it?
Varen
Visor.
Visor.
I'll put it in Discord right now.
Vesor.
That one.
Visor.
Visor.
I was asking because the Siri literally did not see it. She did not roll high enough.
But I think it was like projected into our minds, so
Because
we
there
didn't
were a
actually
lot
need
of
to
wish
roll a
spells
check.
cast in Doomsday Dawn, and I decided rather than put the consequences thereof occur in fights you guys were already losing, to do a mutant crown. Turns out permanent confusion's real mean.
Like that?
Yes, it's in
Yeah.
Discord.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I've no idea. That sounds like it could be a name. So, but maybe you should ask around. Maybe someone heard that name before.
I could. Are we away from those guys now?
Yeah, I think you should probably leave those drunks
Yeah.
alone.
I say I could ask my hand if it knows. It has its own memories.
That's creepy.
Can your
That's very
carbuncle make its
creepy.
own checks?
No, but if it's ever heard the name, at least.
I have no idea, Master.
Understood.
So you guys are gonna go talk to the town wizard.
Yes.
Okay. So as you guys are heading back into town, once you get like back away from the fields and into Ravencrow proper, you guys pass by a group of 5 children. They are happily dancing and skipping rope along the side of the road. Let me get perception checks from you guys.
$24.
Alrighty. This
Wow.
So,
Are you
all-
still drunk?
Yeah. I've said too much
I mean-
about how he's rolled too well, and there it is. It's come back.
Yeah, at least Molten doesn't feel alone because Geldon is right there with him.
Indeed. So only Edgar notices that these girls are like, if you set a metronome down on the road, they are perfectly in time in the way they are switching, like who has the rope and who is jumping. It's almost mechanical. It's downright unnerving. And as you get a little closer, you hear all 5 of them in unison singing, "Put her body on the bed, take a knife and lop her head, watch the blood come out the pipe, feeds the sturge so nice and ripe, drops of red so sparkly bright, splatter spell her name just right, with the hammer killed his wife, now he wants to claim your life, tricksy father tells a lie, listen close or you will die," and it loops.
That is unsettling. I say to the others.
Man, that really have messed up kids in here.
Catchy.
Should we ask? I think we should ask them what they are seen about.
Do I recognize them?
Yeah. You don't know them by name, but you recognize them.
Okay, so it's not like they're just suddenly in town out of nowhere.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Take an. Oh, okay.
It's a catchy tune.
Do you say that to them?
Sure.
Okay. So as you walk up and say that, they all 5 stop at, again, the exact, as if they were 5 little constructs. They just, like, hit the brakes at the same time, and they just stop and stand quietly and awkwardly. The most
It's
bravest
like-
of them, no evil. The most bravest of them, a little dwarf girl comes up and just, I'm sorry, stranger.
What is?
I'm no stranger, little girl. Could you tell me about that song so it doesn't seem too creepy that I'm talking to a little girl?
Make a diplomacy check. Because you are this 6-foot-tall monster man has approached these
Yep.
little children playing.
Oh yeah, and here comes the best roll of the night. I'm probably gonna get a negative.
Foreshadowing. I mean, it ain't bad. Anybody else want to carry some weight here?
Yeah, I think I will support him. Diplomacy.
Yeah, I'll do the
Diplomacy.
diplomacy thing too.
Yay, something I'm good at.
Indeed. Yeah. Okay, so you guys all...
Siri is blowing it out of the water.
Indeed. That's been this whole session. So you three approach, and they get real awkwarded out, but you guys are able to, like, talk them down, and they don't freak out or do any, like, running or anything.
Run screaming to their parents, stranger danger, stranger danger.
None of that. Instead, it's more of... I'm sorry, it's just something we've sung here in Ravengrove forever, us kids.
What's its meaning? Like, what's the story behind that song?
Yes, because everybody knows the meaning behind the songs they sing as children.
Yeah, they have no idea. They all just kind of shrug and look awkwardly at each other.
Yeah, because London Bridge, that makes all the sense. Everybody knows everything about the history of London Bridge.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And with that, there was a knowledge religion check to identify a scourge. The religion check does not identify it. It's not hard to identify, though. They're kind of common in this part of the world. They're essentially giant mosquitoes. Like mosquitoes the size of, like, house cats.
Eee.
And they're one of my favorite things to summon. On
Kill
the
it with
summon
fire.
Yeah. That's 1d2 or 1d3 con damage. I forget. That's my favorite summon nature's ally is a scourge, because you can just drop a bunch of them on a dude and then he dies. But in any case, can we go now?
Yeah, sorry for keeping. Yes,
They all nod.
enjoy your games.
And they go back to being perfectly in time and singing it again.
And creepy as all heck.
And yes, indeed.
So, I am somewhat suspicious that the father could be Father Grimbarrow. I'm not sure.
Father tells a lie, and you told him everything.
But it also said Trixie's father or something.
Trixie father, not
Yeah,
Trixie.
it says Trixie father,
Oh, okay.
not Trixie's.
the
Trixie father, aka a tricky person.
Okay.
What's
Visor.
wrong with Trixie halflings?
we have to figure
And he
out
has
who
a weird
Visor
voice.
is. Go back into the archives somewhere, find birth records. I don't know.
What archives? We're in
And
the
judging
middle
by
of nowhere.
Judging by this, an archives would be one person who's trying to know everything about everyone.
Now, that's not entirely true. There are a couple of places that a Siri would know that you guys could, like, where information is stored where you could gather it. One of those places happens to be the Lorimore place. There's a very extensive library there. In addition, there's pretty solid records kept at the town hall. The Temple of Pharasma would be a good place to go, but they're a little upset with you. As well as the that wizard you're going to. He also runs a magic item shop. It's called the Unfurling Scroll. He might have an idea.
I think we should go to the the scroll. Got tongue-tied there.
Place. Let's go to the scroll place.
The scroll place! Alright, y'all do so. It's a bit of a walk across town, but you get there. Inside, an old man leaning on what at one point may have been a very powerful staff, but has been reduced to basically just a walking stick behind this counter. He looks up. Ah, yes. Welcome, strangers, to the Unfurling Scroll. Siri, I see, has Petros sent you to pick up more reagents? Oh, no, I imagine he hasn't. Sorry, too soon?
Too soon.
I almost feel like you're doing that intentionally.
He says nothing, but starts drumming on the top of his staff.
We are looking for some old records about the town.
Well, you've come to the right place, haven't you? He goes like behind.
I want to detect evil.
He's not evil. Wait, hold up.
All right, just curious.
Yeah, he's not evil. I wouldn't check. He's definitely not. He's just mean.
He's just
Grouchy.
mean.
I suppose I could let you look through my records, but it would cost you.
What would it cost us?
Well, given that I imagine you and your, well, your fine standing here in Ravengrow has at the very least put you in considerable debt to the church. I wouldn't worry about here. I think you best spend your money elsewhere. Or did you like your cell?
So does he tell us to go somewhere else, or he's going to put us in jail, basically?
Sense motive. Sense intent.
Oh man. Bad at some sort of. Let's roll it anyway.
Motive.
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled well.
So everyone who's rolled can clearly determine that this dude wants you out of his shop as fast as possible, unless money's going to start sliding around. And even then, it would have to be a lot.
I don't like the thought of that. I just think we're mostly broke. Wait. We got a lot of money from the inheritance. I
Almost.
just remember.
It's waiting in Lepidstadt. And you can't
Yeah,
get
we
it
don't
for
get
10
the
days.
money until
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
In that case, we're probably still mostly broke.
Yeah.
I don't know what's on folks' character sheets. But
Okay.
Not much.
What?
I mean,
What
I have
kind of
stuff
money are
that
we talking
locked
here?
up in jail because I was stripped down to nothing. So,
I suppose there's more
Well-
than one way to skin a cat. Sometimes you just have to lock her in and take all of her stuff. How unfortunate.
So, how much are we talking here?
75 gold a day.
I could
To
buy
do
a sword
what?
for that each day.
75 gold a day, you may access my archives.
How about we do work around the shop for you, or something like that?
How about you pay me
What?
your leave, Damphir?
What is he? Is he human?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As most of the people in
think
Ravengrow are.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I assumed.
all right.
Especially
Well,
because they are kind of racist.
Mm-hmm. It's very
if
insolent.
Well,
Siri doesn't
can-
like him, he clearly doesn't like her. So she's gonna head back to the Lorimore home.
I will leave, but are you what school? Can you at least tell me that?
The school
in case
will
I
get
could-
out of my shop now.
Okay, that's a very good arcane school. Bye. It's very prestigious for what I hear. As I'm walking out.
Yeah, let's leave this guy alone. He's kind of a dick.
Accurate.
I don't know if we should spend our money here. Even if we do, as I go out the door.
I would like
for
to
that.
look around the shop actually and see if there's anything worth anything here.
Yeah, sure. Quick perception check.
All right. This is
Actually,
insane.
you know, Walden finds, as you're leaving, in a very Skyrim-esque display case, my inner millennial is showing, one of those, like, little glass pieces that would open up like this, and there would be something in there. As you're leaving, you do find, strangely enough, it's about the size of, like, about the width of like the palm of your hand spread out on the table. Face down and sleeved in black sleeves, what appears to be a deck of cards.
Oh god, please no.
You have now just caught my attention. campaign ruining?
I've decided I don't want to play Carrion Crown. I want to play that magic item.
Oh, are we summoning an aspect of
switched our
death?
game. Yeah, we have switched our game to playing Russian roulette.
Yeah. As you look up, the old man is staring at you, and he's gone from like, I am annoyed, get out of my store, to I'll set you on fire if you don't get out of my store and stop looking at me.
Quickly, draw a card.
How much is that deck? How much is that deck? And you keep yelling at us, even though I have done nothing wrong. I am a patron. You either treat me with respect, or I will never, deal with you personally in a kind way, and we will not. I will be very not gentle with you when I come back. Now, how much is that deck of cards?
So persuasive.
It is priceless. You could never comprehend its power.
Interesting. So you're a shop that sells priceless things, and then insults the customers, of which have done nothing wrong.
He nods.
Can you show it what it does? It would be hilarious to see him draw death but just get killed.
Quickly, take everything.
Yeah,
Reject everything.
It would be so hilarious. We could instantly get everything in his shop.
So do you have no price for me, or?
It is worth more than you can comprehend. If you'd like to buy a scroll, if you'd like to buy a potion, a wand, we have those. That is not for sale.
What's the point of it being displayed?
To make players ask
In a shop.
questions.
Oh, I get it. It's one of those bragging things.
Something like that, yes. Let's just say I won it long ago.
In a game of cards?
In a game of I got lucky.
Well,
I think you got lucky today, too. All right, and then I leave.
Okay.
maybe the late professor's daughter, Kendra, may know of what those cards are.
So
1d22.
yes, there are 22 cards in that deck. As you're leaving, you see the man mage hand the case open and blindly grabs a card blindly, because as he goes to grab them, they all kind of shuffle, like pick up and pile shuffle themselves in the air. He draws one. As he does so, it is replaced with Oh, 20. Well, he didn't just get 50,000 XP in a medium wondrous item, but that's what would have happened if we make the deck of many things canon in an AP. Anyway, I had to roll
50,000 XP, instant level up.
and suddenly he actually has the ability to run you out of his store very fast. But anyway, Kendra is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
of
believe
course,
the last clue we have is Harrowstone.
You've got a sing-song bit. You've got the VESOR. As you guys get back, Kendra is waiting on the couch watching the door. And as you all come in, I need to talk to you all right now. Look,
Okay.
it's...
Then talk.
Vasiri sits.
Edgar's you're mean to everybody else but her. You're mean to her but not everybody else.
What?
Oh, sorry, that was Geldrin.
Yes.
Geldrin.
It's just I'm somewhat at the end of my patience. We've only been talking to dickish people all day long. It's starting to rub off on me.
And it's starting to rub off on the town.
Yeah, and she's not been doing this to us.
I know you, Isiri. I know you are smarter than you've been acting. I don't know why you thought it would be a good idea to break into a crypt. I know even less of why you thought it would be a good idea to remain at the scene of the crime to hide. Nevertheless, look, people are starting to talk. After what went down this morning, everyone's at their wits' end, and everyone blames you guys. It's not going to be long before Ravengrow does something about that. I don't want to... This is my father's home. I don't know if I want to keep it or sell it yet, but I may not have a choice if they come to burn my house down and lynch the 5 of us. It's a wonder they haven't done it yet.
Well, people seem zealous enough here to actually do that, so I guess it's a risk.
Especially when they figure out that the people living here are grave robbers.
So, keep out of that.
Alleged grave robbers. We have not been. Nobody has been tried in court yet.
They won't be. There's no court in Ravengrow.
What is Visor? Do you know? Because this entire thing could hinge on that.
I have no idea. You're welcome to use the library if you'd like.
As far as we know, it's someone's name.
She shrugs.
Do you know about the song?
I think I remember something from when I was young. Something about sturges. It's very... Children sing the most morbid things.
Yeah.
That they do, and...
In perfect unison.
Yeah, that was weird.
There's no accounting for that one.
I'm going to go to the library.
Okay. Then you may make a knowledge check. Being in the
Knowledge
library, knowledge your call to determine what you would like to determine. Being in the library gives you a +2.
Okay.
And guidance also would help too.
Yeah,
Yeah?
it gives a +1. So it's half as good as a library.
It's half as good as a library.
Maybe we should do knowledge history if possible.
I
don't
have
have
geography, not history.
I don't have that one. I have religion as well as I'll try local.
Local would be pretty good too, probably.
Only have Arcana.
So it's +2 for the library. 4, 5, 6. So 7 is correct. Trying to see if I can take my +2 for this. Or my roll twice, take the better. I don't think it works because I need Lulu for that. But I am not positive.
Yeah, no, you definitely need her for a knowledge check. Something she's got to be there. She's in jail.
It's
she's in jail.
Yeah, once per day as a swift action, you can look to your guiding spirit for advice. Next time you roll a d20 in the same round, roll twice. Doesn't say she has to be there, but she's kind of implied.
Yeah, she's pretty heavily implied.
Woo! 14 for the religion.
Okay.
And then for the local, 15.
Okay. And with the religion, what specifically are you trying to determine?
I am trying to determine if Father Grimbarrow had a daughter. Or wait, no, that's not how the song goes. Whee! Scroll, scroll, scroll.
No, let's not go back to the scroll.
Nah,
no.
He's got the deck of many things. He's not afraid to use it.
What about the other bed?
He's also like level 8 now.
Oh, dear.
Father tells a lie. Oh, so figure out if he had a wife at some point.
If he did, when he came to Ravengrow, she didn't come with. The man is all about his religion, his church, things of that nature. No kids, as far as you know, either. He's married to Pharasma for all intents and purposes.
All right.
And
Then-
the local is for...
Originally that was going to be for the same thing, but I think this time I will look into Petros Lorimor, his wife.
His wife? You actually probably know that. That wouldn't be... Neither of these are really things that are, like, in the records, but, like, you definitely know that Petros's wife was... what could have happened to her? She's not detailed. She's beyond the scope of this AP.
Well, if she wasn't
you
killed
know
with a
what?
hammer, we're good.
Here's an idea. I'm gonna do a boop. Definitely not killed with a hammer. Nice. Never married. Kendra is adopted.
Okay. If anyone wants to help out, we can start looking into find references to the name Visor.
And there, I
Somewhere.
mean, each line on in the poem and the song might be individual.
Explain. What do you mean?
It might be different things, because one of them says, "Take a knife and lop her head," then with the hammer killed his wife. Two separate ways to kill somebody.
Two different people.
Yeah.
And then the rest was... Let me scroll.
Drops of red so sparkly bright. And it feeds the
Splatters
stirs.
spell her name just right. And you guys said you saw the word Visor, which is probably somebody's name if this is connected to it. So I say we look for Visor.
Yes.
All right. Give me them checks.
I'm going to make an arcane check to see if there's any type of magic in the records that can do what that did.
I will give you a +1 to that with a free tap because it's a cantrip.
I guess I'll look through religious texts.
Oh, that's for religion right there.
Yeah, I'll do religious texts to see if there's anything about a father that a tricksy father tells a lie.
Okay.
And then I'm in the library, so like, oh god. All right,
I got
can't
a
roll
nat 20
today.
on the knowledge
You can't.
religion, so
So we got a big knowledge. What's the question on the knowledge religion?
the question on the knowledge religion is who related to well, it's got to be a religion, so who related to the church here had a name of Visor, if anyone?
No one.
No one?
Absolutely.
So not
no
even
one.
like so not a relative, nothing?
Not anything at all.
All right. Knowledge local. Unnatural 20.
Modified 20, dirt 20.
That's for the town.
It is indeed. I'm looking. Hang on. Okay. So as you go digging around, I believe I've already told you that Harrowstone was partially destroyed by a fire in 4661. It's been vacant ever since. That all sound familiar?
Yep.
Okay. What I think you don't know is when the fire, and stop me if I've already told you this, because there's like 20 pages of lore here.
Okay.
When the fire broke out, it was kind of considered to be a blessing in disguise by like Ravengrow at large, because it happened whilst the prison was rioting.
I do know that much.
Okay, we've been there already. And that is really all that gets you. Well, it gets you a little more. It's
There was also
It's good enough.
something about the prison guards heroically standing behind and keeping the prisoners at bay, but they burned down with the prisoners at the prison for it.
Indeed. That is enough to give you... They were not the only casualties. Amongst them, unfortunately... Well, yeah, This should be able to give you enough. I gotta jump all over the place for this one because we're kind of going about it roundabout, but that's okay. So, when Harrowstone burned, there were 5 particularly notorious criminals who had recently arrived at the prison. The most common belief is that the fire began accidentally after the riot happened, but they had been, and by they, the prisoners, had already been in command of the lower level of the prison for several hours before the fire happened, and it come out that it's all kind of like hush-hush. There's a lot of like back and forth through a lot of books and reading between the lines here, but the prison's warden, he triggered a deadfall, which would seal the rioting prisoners in the lower level. In so doing, he trapped himself and all of his guards. The prisoners were in the process of escaping when the guards accidentally started the fire that the deadfall would trigger in a desperate attempt to end the riot, and the warden, the guards, and all these people tragically perished. Vesor is the first half of the name Visoriana, so basically just tag an I, Anna, at the end of that, the warden's wife.
Was she also a guard?
No.
Okay.
She was... You probably have enough for that. I don't want to say she was a stereotype, but she definitely wasn't a guard. She was the, like, stay-at-home mother. Actually, that is not as correct as it could be. At the time of that fire, Visoriana had gone into the prison to try to find basically her husband, who had failed to show up for dinner. There was no one guarding the main entrance to the prison at the time. She was able to walk in, basically unannounced, unchecked the whole time, heard the sounds of shouting, and followed it to where the rest of the guards were, and she too perished in the fire.
All right.
It's actually kind of an unfortunate story. She was rushed to a workshop at the other end of Harrowstone, and she was locked inside for her own safety, and then the building caught fire.
Yeah, that sounds interesting with this weird, creepy song. And the creepy blood. Okay. Let's go visit Harrowstone, shall we?
Do you tell us this? Or you keep...
You know what? I've been telling a lot of people a lot of stuff. I think this is probably something I should tell you, considering our lives are all on the line here. So, yeah.
Okay.
I share.
Sharing is caring.
What time of day is it at this point?
At this
It's kind of
point,
going all over town.
probably like middle of the afternoon. Y'all got a pretty early start in the morning.
Cool. Yeah, I'm game for going to check out the Harrowstone, but I do not want to go into Harrowstone just yet.
It sounds like a fun place.
Yeah, it sounds totally enjoyable.
We can pack a picnic.
Summer beach vacations, here we come.
Okay, so is that the plan? We're gonna go explore Harrowstone.
We're gonna do the very basics of exploration of Harrowstone, just like the very beginning steps.
Okay, makes sense.
I mean, I feel like that was somewhat already the plan from session 1.
Yeah. I wish we had that Ouija board still.
I bet you do.
We can make one.
Wait a minute.
We
The
see it in
father
movies.
said that all of that was church property, meaning the Ouija board was church property, which is kind of suspicious.
Make a religion check.
Fair enough.
Can I please get a double digit?
I mean, 10 is a double digit.
I'm talking about on the actual die roll.
Fair.
There we go.
Okay, so it's not suspicious at all that the Church of Pharasma would have something along those lines. It's, well, no, that's not entirely true. The Pharasmans are more about dealing with the undead. Well, yeah, there you go. And so, since something like that is most likely used to communicate with the undead, sometimes that has to be the approach. You can kill a ghost as many times as you want to kill a ghost. It will come back until its spirit has been put at ease.
Fair.
And it is late afternoon, and we're wandering our butts over to Harrowstone. It's quite the walk, actually. You know, it'll be probably like twilight by the time you guys get there. Still want to head out?
Are we there yet?
Alright, so be it. Make a perception check, y'all.
Do.
17. 20.
There you go.
Nice.
Anthony the
Critical.
Mighty.
Finally something.
Indeed.
After 4 natural ones, I think.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
are
so-
overdue.
Harrowstone itself is located on a barren hill, like pretty far south of the city. If city you can call it.
Oh, Moldern.
The roof of the structure is stark and sagging, and it's visible through a large gap in the wall. There's a partially overgrown track that leads from the southern edge of town and winds around the base of the hill, upon which Harrowstone is built, and then back up alongside it to the prison itself. There is a sagging wood and metal gate that somehow has survived all this time between a pair of stone guard towers that once upon a time barred entrance into Harrowstone. Of course, the gates now just hang negligently open and creaking softly in the wind as you guys approach. What do, team?
I think we should head in. Looking for... I don't think it'll be trapped.
I would like to explore the outside of it, like walk around it type of deal.
The perimeter?
Yes.
Yeah, let's first check it from the outside before we go
Especially
in.
since it's twilight, and I don't know, it just seems very
Don't we all-
unwise to enter
don't
in
we-
the night.
Don't we all have dark vision?
Everyone who's not the cat.
Unwise. It also still seems unwise to enter into a place that is considered, haunted at night.
Especially with no spells.
Yes, and
Yeah.
2 of
And
our party
3
members are wearing
dexterity.
burlap sacks.
I'm actually more powerful when it's dark.
Got them shadow sorcerer probs. That's fair.
You get even more powerful in Supernatural Dark?
Probably.
Ultra supernatural dark.
Later on, I can create darkness that no one can see through but me.
I am not surprised at all. Okay.
Yeah,
so you guys
I can
just
do
wanna
that too.
explore, you would want to just like
Yes.
explore the grounds, running around it. Wait, hold on. Do you both get deeper darkness that you can see through?
No, I don't get deeper darkness I can see through, but I can create deeper darkness.
Okay, never mind. I'm a little less worried now. Only one of you can be real gamey. Okay, so wandering around the grounds, it takes a while. It's a pretty big place. Nevertheless, the only thing you really find are like the occasional animal track. Nobody's been out here. Not in a while. At least not like around this way.
Where about where Petros Lorim, Lorimor was found?
The body? His body was found in the grounds.
So inside?
Yes. Not like inside the prison itself,
Yeah.
but inside the wall, inside the gates.
Are the gates locked or anything like that?
Just swinging open in the wind.
That's
there's-
not foreboding at all.
There are also several humongous holes in the wall as well.
Like going straight through the wall, or does it look like there's a path in the wall?
As if, like, someone had knocked them down.
Oh.
Well, what do, team?
Gelden asked, can some of you tracking people see if there are any tracks around this place? Was there other people or creatures near here recently?
Sure, I'll take a look.
Yeah.
Let's
26.
do it.
There you go. There you go. There's a number. It's a 14. Okay, so betwixt the three of you, looks like a lot of people have gone, like, there are no tracks really around Harrowstone, but there are several that have gone in and out over the past, if you had to guess, several weeks. There are so many tracks that the number is indistinguishable, whether or not, like, there were a lot of people or they were the sand people of Tatooine marching in single file to hide their numbers. In any case, they've gone back and forth over each other so much that it's just a mess.
Over the past 2 weeks? That's weird.
Perhaps even longer. It's really hard to tell. There comes a point where like they're just considered really old.
But it does seem like it's been getting a lot of traffic. For such a place that's so haunted, seems very unusual.
Maybe there is a cult here at work after all.
I vote. Is there like a center? So is there like a courtyard?
Yes, it is on the other
Type
side of the
deal.
wall. Just on the other side of the wall.
I think. Okay, guys. I think I should enter and use my detect undead ability because the haunting, just to be on the safe side. I know ghosts won't leave footprints, but still.
Okay.
Any objections?
Don't die out there.
No,
We don't need one more
let's
ghost.
take a look.
Okay. So Edgar is the
Okay.
first in, is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Make a will save.
I'll follow right behind.
Just Edgar.
I can go in the middle because I don't want to get ambushed again.
Right. Indeed. But this only affects Edgar if Edgar can make a will save.
Okay. Take a look at my wheel.
Do 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 do.
I rolled it, I think, but it didn't go through. I hit roll. The thing didn't confirm it at first.
Okay, so basically the second Edgar steps into Harrowstone proper, Edgar suddenly feels a sudden rush of claustrophobia, as if the air had like solidified around you in such a way that you could no longer move. And for a split second, you feel as if your skin had just burst into flames. For the next 7 rounds, you are shaken by this. And basically right after that, and this will be a theater of the mind encounter, because I didn't think we were going to do this quite yet. But I think this, it happened basically here. As you guys come in and Edgar violently freaks out, a swarm of rats makes its way down from a tower. It's probably a good 50 feet off from you, maybe even a little farther, it's hard to say. But they've clearly smelled fresh meat, and all told, there's probably about 50 of them making it over towards you.
Damn.
If you could roll for
Initiative. Oh man, I don't have any AoE attacks yet.
What's my
initiative? What's my initiative?
This series is about to be
Probably
awful.
+0. I
Mine's a
assume.
10 since I have a -1 to initiative right now.
I think mine is just also straight up +0.
Not bad.
Not bad for having a -1.
I believe you have considerably. Do you have improved initiative?
I have a trait from rescuing Loramore.
Ah, fair. Okay. I'm just making sure.
Chance to savior.
Nice. So then, only a 14. Does it give you a +4 to initiative?
It gives me a +2. I currently have a -3 dex modifier.
Okay, yeah, we're good. I thought your initiative would come down way lower. Just screwed me up a little bit. I trust you and my friends. Ret 1, Ret 2, and they will roll probably at +0, I imagine. No, they're pretty fast. Go power rats.
Okay, do rats trigger my thing?
Which thing?
The whole pass spiders.
Oh, your drawback. They are considered vermin. Oh no, they're not. They're considered animals. So
Oh, thank God.
Probably
Oh,
not.
thank God. I was like,
Why? Are you afraid of them?
not rats.
Oh.
Alrighty, so these guys take up 10 feet. Yeah. So the first group of rats goes first, and I understand the order with Asiri being in the middle to be Edgar, then Asiri, then Molden. And they just take off. They've smelled food. As they get closer, it's very obvious that they haven't eaten in a really long time. It's a wonder they can move that fast. Some of them are incredibly emaciated. Spending their entire turn mechanically, they use the run action to enter Asiri and Edgar's square. At the end of the turn, because they're a swarm, both of you make fort saves for me, if you would. We're not done with that yet. In addition,
Oh no, not again.
and a single point of damage to the pair of you, that translates into none damage at all after a series damage reduction.
20.
Nice. The 20 is good.
Altogether, not nets.
20 is great. The 10 is not. And it is duly noted. And Geldern is next.
Whoa. Hang on.
Whoa.
I was on mute. That should be a 14. I typed in -2 instead of +2
All right, never mind.
for
You're good.
fort save.
Well done.
All right.
And it's on Geldern.
Alright, I shall spend a 4-round action to cast Magic Missile with all my all my bonuses, so it's a 0-level spell.
Gotcha.
And I'm just gonna Magic Missile 1. I'm not really prepared to fight swarms.
either.
Oh
So,
man, I had that number wrong. I'm looking at swarm traits. They're tiny. There's like 600 rats coming at you.
yeah.
Okie dokie. That's fun.
Oh no.
The swarm takes 4 damage.
Alrighty.
Nope.
Just making
Well,
sure they
not
can.
big.
Got it. I was just double checking swarm traits to make sure that would hurt them. Duly noted. The magic missile comes down and it pings a couple of them. Like, I know it mechanically hits one, but it goes like through and through the head of several of them. They collapse in a heap and chitter and squeak.
I mean, magic missiles kind of like explode, small exploding darts. So they may be just so packed that it actually hits more than one.
Yeah, and they're about as big as a rat, probably. Anyway, is that all?
Yep, that's if I don't want to use up a spell slot, I need a 4-round action to do it.
Gotcha.
I think that's
That is sorcerer meta magic, yeah. Alright, it's on Molden.
Yeah.
All right, I will summon an eagle and have it attack the swarm.
Alrighty.
Eagles.
And then I'll
versus
move away.
rats.
So summon spells take a full round to cast, so...
Not for Monster Tactician. Monster Tactician can use it just like a sword summoner can as a standard action.
No, nice. Fair enough. Okay.
Both of them can do it.
Then so...
That's the reason why they're so powerful, and they also last minutes instead of rounds.
Nice. And so
They're
there now is an
freaking-
eagle, if you could roll for it.
Yep, I'm just
Caca.
I'm looking up the pluses. +3 and then +3. Okay. And then they can take full round actions on the turns they're summoned. Sorry.
So good.
Because I have to do this 3 times.
Mm-hmm. D20 plus three times.
Yep.
And
So the first one will be a bite. The next 2 will be claws.
so only one of the
They'll go
claws
bite, claw.
hits.
Okay. And then I have the sheet pulled up.
It does...
Add 2 to that.
Gotcha.
So 3 points.
Okay, duly noted.
Claw
Flying
damage. Whatever that.
Eagle does a bit. Is that all?
I will move away from the swarm, so I will back out.
Fair enough. The swarms do not have threat ranges, so passes to a Siri.
Okie dokie.
What a magical world level 2 is. Dressed in a burlap sack, bereft of gear, covered in rats.
With no spell.
With no spells.
Hey, I have cantrips. Or orisons, whatever they're called.
Enjoy using those against the
Okay.
swarm.
Well, probably the only thing I have that could be of use besides +1s to things. I could probably make about 16 pounds of water with Create Water.
Flood the rats.
drown them.
So, what's the range on this? It's weird. 25 feet plus 5 per 2 levels, so 30 feet. I am going to 5 foot back
Okay.
and create 16 pounds of water about 30 feet over the rat's head and drop it on them.
Alrighty.
I don't know how fall damage works. I don't remember more specifically because I was not expecting to do this at all.
Makes sense. And this is the Create Water cantrip, which
Yep.
whips you up 4 gallons of water.
Oh yeah,
And
4 gallons. So that's 8 times 4. Because it's 4 pounds per gallon, or it's 8 pounds per gallon.
So you dump 16
There's 4
pounds of
gallons?
water on them.
Nope. 8 times the 4.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Of
So
course, my
okay.
internet stops.
So basically, what happens as we sit here and do math is nothing. The spell has no mechanical effect to do damage, and now the rats are wet. Is there a swift action?
So falling damage doesn't do anything?
They did not fall. You dropped water on them. It's not a cantrip that rules as written does damage.
So stuff that falls on top of something doesn't do damage.
Right. The spell has no mechanical damage.
Ah.
Well,
Also, the water would kind of disperse like a waterfall or rain or whatever. It will kind of just spread out
Well,
as it falls
I
down.
tried.
Yeah.
And here's the second
Then
rat
you can take a
swarm.
5-foot step.
You cheated.
I mean, if you manage to conjure that much water and freeze it into a block of ice, then you would certainly squash them.
Yeah, but
So
you should
does
totally
somebody have
get
an
out
ice
of the way.
spell?
You should totally get out of the way.
Yeah.
On that note, I
Well,
need one more.
I-
I need one more fort save from Chewie, real quick. Asiri doesn't have to make it because Asiri took no damage, but Chewie did. And rolls an 8. Rough. So, okay. So as these things roll in and start biting you, several of them start like physically climbing your body inside your gear. Well, you're inside your sack, your paper bag that you're wearing, basically biting every little tiny bit of your body from head to toe. The feeling of the little pitter-patter of feet and tails crawling all around you is overpowering, and you are nauseated for your next round. And here comes the second swarm, which cannot hit the eagle. The eagle's flying. I can't get to Asiri. She's 5 foot back. I can't get to Gelder, and he's out of range. So is Molden. So I am just gonna rush Chewie. Hooray! Chewie hasn't moved. Chewie receives no attack of opportunity as they move into your square. At the end of the turn, take 2 points of damage and make me 2 fortitude saves.
So does second, do I give up my turn with that? Is how that works?
First, make 2 fortitude saves. Both of which are at a -1 because you're shaken. Okay, 18's good.
Okay.
7 is not. Duly noted. Hoki dokie, Edgar, you are shaken, so there's basically a -2 on every roll you would make. And being nauseated is the worst one. Being nauseated means like Edgar is actively vomiting.
I would like to use a standard action to cast my racial ability of Doom on the rats.
Alright,
I'll
so,
fight fear with fear.
so you are unable to attack, cast spells, concentrate on spells, or do anything else except for take a single move action.
I move away.
And so you do.
I say,
I
Damn
cast
rats.
spells. I move away.
It passes now to the first rat swarm that will... It can't 5-foot step. I'm pretty sure they're not smart enough to do that, so this technically provokes from Asiri, but they're going to move into Asiri's square if Asiri would like to do a punch-in.
I mean, I got a sickle.
Okay, no you don't. You have a nothing.
Yeah, that's better than nothing. It's only a -1 because I'll use strength.
Did you say you have a sickle?
Because a sickle.
You do not have a sickle. All of your gear was taken.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't have claws either.
Okay. So you can
So
make an unarmed strike if you would like.
Yeah, I can try. I have no idea how to roll that.
Okay, so D20 plus
D20 plus your strength.
-4.
Okay. Roll 1d20 -5 because I have a -1 to strength.
Watch this be just like the clutch net. It does miss. It was a really good roll, but they're able to dodge out of the way. Alrighty.
I tried.
2 fortitude saves are required. Take 2 points of damage. They start doing a bit.
18. Okay. 2 fort saves, huh?
Yes, please.
Let's fix that. Woo-doo! 1,
Oof.
2.
And okay, so the second one is exactly what you needed to not be nauseated, but the first one is noted. And Gildern.
Same. Still magic missiling the swarm.
Okay, fair enough.
for 3 damage.
Got it.
No one's got any ice spells?
The ice spell would do nothing. There's no mechanical you can freeze create water to do a thing.
Ah.
I yell, all my alchemical items were taken.
Well, there was that feat combination that you can take, which would result in something different, but where you could combine spells.
Yeah, those meta magic feats are sweet from Elemental Master, Bloody Elements rather. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're sweet. And Chewie doesn't yell a whole lot of much because Chewie's too busy vomiting.
Valkyrie!
Malden. Malden.
Yeah, the eagle makes 3 attacks.
Okay. Plus do.
19, 22, and a 13.
The 19 and the
Did any
22.
of those hit?
The 19 and 22 do.
Okay. So a bite and a claw.
I just imagine it eating some of them when it swoops down.
Basically, yeah. That's exactly what it's doing. Add 2 to both of these.
Okay. Understood.
It's just trying to tear through them. It's a celestial eagle, too, so it's able to... It glows holy.
Nice. It's the most beautiful eagle.
All right, then I don't want to get into range. Guys, get out of there. What are you doing? And then I back away a little bit more, but not too far. Like, I want to be within one of my move actions to get into range, but, where I'm like 30 feet away, but they would have to move 35 feet to get to me,
Sure.
to get on me as a swarm.
Vomiting.
Vomiting. All right, goes to Asiri then.
I'm assuming I have to vomit?
No, you passed that
Oh,
one.
you're not
You are not
nauseated.
nauseated.
Oh, okay. If that is the case, I will move so that I am little bit more than 30 feet away from our half vampire there. I don't think anyone else takes damage from positive energy. No?
Nope,
Famous
I
last
don't.
words.
Yeah.
Nope.
I do.
And
The dump here
Yeah,
will like
I'm
positive
gonna-
energy.
channel some positive energy for 1d6 because I'm taking some damage
Sure.
from scorpion, or not scorpions. I keep wanting to call them scorpions.
Close.
And yeah, that's just that. Just straight at 1d6.
Okay. Before you commit to that, no, there's. Yeah, you could find root. No, could you? Because you would have to move. The swarm is in the same square as you. So moving 30 feet away in any direction will also heal the swarm.
Will provoke.
Will heal. They are a living creature. You are channeling to heal the living.
So I want to get so that I'm at least more than 30 feet away from them, right?
Right. And you cannot without double moving because your move speed is 30.
Oh,
And they were
Gotcha.
literally in your square.
okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just double move.
All right. Understood.
And
You
I'll-
move 60. This rat swarm will go after. Because all I can really do is. I can't hit that eagle. That eagle's the scary part. But oh well. I'm going to chase after some Chewie. I'm sure this provokes from the eagle.
Yeah, but the eagle only gets 1 attack, so if it's provoking.
And so it does. And it misses.
I am not a green little goblin. Stop eating me.
And as it moves in, Chewie is no longer flat-footed, but is still nauseated, so can't defend himself. 2 fort saves, bud.
Okay.
A single point of damage. Death by attrition. Duly noted.
Critical.
Seems good.
That
Seems also good. Fair enough. It passes to you. You are done being nauseated. You literally passed the second save by 1.
I'm moving. I'm running.
Okay.
I'm
Where
getting out
would
of
you
there.
like to run?
Away from them, since I don't know on the board. Towards the exit.
Okay, that's what I needed to hear.
Where would you like to run? Away.
Okay.
So you're
Yeah.
running away.
Further in! Further in!
Chewie's gonna
Brave
soul
Sir
this
Robin
dungeon
ran
with
away.
nothing but a paper sack.
Start the next encounter! Start the next encounter!
Yeah, ain't you ever heard of the legend of Chewie? Okay, so we go running back on through, fair enough. And then I have this rat swarm will go after a Siri, and that's where we'll call it for the night. It does doing a run action is your double move, but it still is able to get there at the end of the round after a Siri for 4 points of damage and 2 fort saves, please.
Okie dokie. A 1,
I thought she moved 60 feet away.
a 2.
She did. The rat swarm has a move speed of 15, and oh, well, that's fair. Never mind. That didn't happen. I've been running. No, I run at 4 times speed. The run feed is 5 times. Yeah, never mind. So I can take the run action, get into your square.
They're straight up running. Okay.
Because they are very hungry and attack the nearest thing. So they run.
Does that provoke?
Swarm? Yeah, it certainly does. If you would like to go a punching,
Yeah, it's better than doing nothing.
that's fair.
I think.
I think most people would. And that's
that
what we're going to
your
call it
bell?
for tonight. The
Oh, man.
TPK to a rat swarm. Wonderful!
Oh,
I'll have a map for this
Not
next
your
time.
rat swarm.
I wasn't necessarily thinking you guys were going to go straight to Harrowstone. I remember thinking earlier today, gee, I ought to prep Harrowstone in case that happens. Nah, it's really hot out. I'd like to shower. And, well, here we are. In any case, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to be back next week, Friday 7 to 10 on Twitch, or basically immediately after on YouTube. And you can watch me kill people with rat swarms. That's fun. Anyway, thank you
Rusty
for your time.
Dagger Shankdown.
Rusty Dagger Shakedown! Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.